And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
Powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
Let's be honest, we all fall into it. One episode suddenly turns into binging 6, and it's 2 a.m. You're asking yourself, how did this happen? Binge watching isn't just TV. It's a ritual. It's a compulsion. For some, it's an obsession. And my name is Todd Hancock. And this week, I'm going to take you into the world of binge watching, the shows that you can't stop thinking about, the cliffhangers that haunt you, the habits that keep you pressing. Next episode, you'll hear the habits of 9 guests this week. So dim the lights, grab your snacks, and let's do this. In sports, a voice that commands silence in a packed stadium. She holds thousands in the palm of a single breath. A fighter who's stepped into the cage where doubt gets loud and instincts take over. And an MLS goalkeeper, every second a test, every mistake is magnified. In entertainment, a performer from an industry no longer hiding in the shadows, an actor who's carved out a career stepping into others' lives, and an actress navigating the grind from another angle. You'll hear this week's musical guests in just a minute, a voice that carries the weight of decades, a guitarist who builds worlds from distortion and melody, and a drummer driven by rhythm and relentless precision. It's great to have you along, and before we hear from our guests and their binge-watching habits, it's thanks to our sponsors that we're able to keep creating these podcasts for you to listen to, like our title sponsor, Citywide Mortgage Services, longtime friends of the podcast. One of the owners, Dara, is a good buddy of mine. Like, we go to neighborhood parties, he's there kind of good buddy. Comes to podcast shows at the Blue Light Studio, and he's helped me renew my mortgages. Last year, he renewed my renewal, and talking about an easy peasy transaction, couple phone calls, couple text messages, and that's it. He got me into a fixed rate. I can't deal with the variable interest rate, even though the Bank of Canada has lowered the key interest rate. I want to know how much is coming out of my bank every couple of weeks, you know? It is a buyer's market right now, so it's a good time to get in, get a mortgage. And now you can go with the people I trust with my mortgages. Citywide has decades of experience, and the beauty is they work for you. They don't work for the big banks. They have access to over 30 lenders. Even if you've been turned down somewhere else, Dara and his team can usually find a way to make it work. Citywidemortgage.ca. It's who I trust. Use my network to better yours. Again, talk to Dara. He'll sort you out through citywidemortgage.ca. Okay, coming up in just a few minutes in Listen to This, pop evil singer Lee Kakati shares the story of his first concert. Mine was Dr. Hook. His is exponentially cooler than that. And as always, that's powered by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley. RV service and repairs. They are ICBC accredited, and they're into their 10th year sponsoring. Our longest sponsor to date. Absolutely key to why we've been able to keep on keeping on. Big love to Tamara and her excellent team. You can find them online from time to time on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where else, at Tedco RV Supplies. First, let's get you to our first guests in this binge-watching podcast. This week's musical guests are powered by Parallel 49 Brewing, a craft beer powerhouse across British Columbia, coming up on 15 years. So 15 years ago, pretty much, a few buddies wanted to get into the game for the love of beer. So 2012 was a good year. And now their East Van Brewing produces dozens of beers, and their tasting room and their street kitchen have over 40 taps. They're always hopping. It's a great little hang. Check them out online at parallel49brewing.com. Binge watching kind of feels like a reward almost, doesn't it? A weekend lost to a world that you love, stories that pull you in, it's joy, it's pure, it's simple, a pause from your everyday real life. For a few hours, nothing else kind of matters or exists, but what's that next episode? And the beauty is we all do it. We all do it. Alice in Chains is without a doubt one of the most influential and celebrated bands of the 90s. Grammy nominations, multi-platinum albums, huge songs, haunting harmonies, heavy riffs. They are cemented into permanence in rock history. Check out what their singer, William Duvall, had to say when he was a guest. It's more of a tour and plane-based answer.
Say when I'm on an airplane or something and I get, I have a few hours to watch a movie, it's more likely going to be some documentary, or it's going to be some, like I'm that kind of, boring fool now. You know what I mean? If it's going to be like an action movie, it's probably going to be something that's more like, spy or intrigue, that kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm curious. I've read some things about all of those movies, and I think Cantrell told me he saw Batman and Superman, or Batman versus Superman, and that it was better than he expected it to be or something. So yeah, I probably will one of these days.
He goes, it's more likely going to be some documentary, and well said. Like, I can spend hours ripping through documentaries. So I want to take you from Alice in Chains' singer to a sonic visionary whose career spans metal, ambient, and progressive experimentation. Longtime friend of the podcast, Devin Townsend. Multiple Juno nominations, a devoted global following. He's known for boundary-pushing albums from Ocean Machine to Empath. He's fearless, fusing chaos and melody. One of music's most innovative forces, without a doubt.
Parts unknown.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anthony Bourdain had to be one of the best presenters, hosts. It blew me away.
Same.
Before his death, I probably would have said that Anthony Bourdain was the number one person that I would want to have on this podcast.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, shocking.
No, it bums me out, man. It's like I watch it now and it's
sad now. Like, I'm kind of sad when I was watching it last night.
Me too.
As I was kind of
Which
getting,
episode?
It was the Chicago.
Yeah.
Man, I watched a few actually.
Me too. Yeah, I can't get enough. And luckily there's so many seasons.
There's just so good. And apparently there's still another season coming. I don't know if it's Parts Unknown or if it's the other one.
Stopover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless, he's got another full season coming out.
Yeah, I wondered too, because it's hard to spot when you were looking at the show too, like, because it looks
not at all. He seems really centered.
He does, doesn't
and
he?
He seems like a family guy, and he's always talking about his daughter.
Yeah.
It's one of those, you can never tell when somebody's at that point.
Yeah. And it's more prevalent now than ever too. I think the idea of suicide the stigma's changed, where it's almost more socially accepted, or in some way, or acceptable maybe.
With the let's talk and all that,
Well, even more so about the discussing it, just seems like it's much more readily an option for people, which sucks.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's like you think of your own kids, and it's because when we were younger as well, the idea of suicide was just such an extreme reaction.
Sure.
But now it just seems like you just hear about it all the time.
It's so true. He says, I can't get enough. And luckily there's so many seasons of it. That's the best, right? When you find a series that you love and it has like 8 or 9 seasons or some shit. So let me take you from Devin Townsend to a powerhouse drummer redefining rock and metal percussion. Brooke Colucci. She's a great follow, by the way, online. If you're a drummer or if you're into watching people drum, she's just so good. Precision, presence. She's performed with top-tier artists and bands, earned acclaim for her versatility, and continues to inspire a new generation of drummers worldwide. Listen to what was grabbing Brooke's attention when she was a guest.
Okay, I love Netflix. But lately I've been watching Gilmore Girls.
Oh,
It's been my go-to.
What's that about?
It's like about this mom and her daughter, and the mom had her daughter when she was like a teenager, like super young. And it's kind of just about like their lives, and they live in this like small town in Connecticut. It's very like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, it was filmed in the I think early 2000s. So yeah, it's just kind of like normal life stuff.
Parallel 49 Brewing is proudly the official beer of the Toddcast podcast, where craft meets character.
Sleepless
Got the radio up so you can feel the beat. Now I say it loud 'cause I'm in the mood. For greases, spoons, and let that drive through. I wanna feel you close, I wanna hold you tight. I wanna be with you tonight. I wanna love you now, I wanna love you right. So you can feel so safe tonight. Sleepless nights, sleepless nights, 'cause it love me right. Sleepless nights, burning down the no back road that we all know from long ago. I just want love that's true. That's how I feel with you. Wanna be close, wanna hold you tight. I wanna be with you tonight. Wanna love you now, I wanna love you right. So you can feel so safe tonight. Sleepless nights, sleepless nights. You love me right. Sleepless nights, sleepless nights. Sleepless nights, sleepless nights, 'cause you love me right. Sleepless nights.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
You've heard Pop Evil on any good rock radio station for years now. They're from Michigan, formed in 2001, and they did what every hungry indie band needs to do. They grinded it out. Constant touring, building a following, getting noticed. Well, that moment came in November 2007 when they signed a management deal with G&G Entertainment. A year later, they dropped their debut album, Lipstick on the Mirror, had some radio standouts, Hero, Somebody Like You. The band kept pushing, and in 2013, the single Trenches earned Song of the Year at the Radio Contraband Rock Radio Awards and became their first #1 song at Rock Radio. Tracks like Walking Lions would later do the same thing on the Billboard mainstream rock chart. Albums like Up, Versatile, Skeleton, What Remains have kept the band's momentum going. Big riffs, anthemic hooks, and the band that still, today, tours like Mad Dogs. And when their singer, Lee Kakati, joined the show, he talked about his first concert, seeing Lynyrd Skynyrd live. Listen to this.
First one was probably, I think, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Wow.
Way back when, the festivals, the summertime festivals, we'd go, and I don't necessarily remember the show as much as I remember it was that first moment that, like, us as a family were like, we all wanted to go to that show. And to be there, it was kind of like, again, where maybe I have that passion to bringing families together, wanting to do these tours with older legacy type iconic bands. It just reminds me of, being at that concert when, my mom and dad and my brother and I, we all went to that concert and we all sat down. So that was my first link where, wow, this is music that I like too, and my parents like it as well. So this was was a kind of a pivotal moment, that show, back all those years ago. So I think it still has an influence on me to this day.
Listen to This on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies. And now, highlighting our next Blue Light Sessions, powered in part by Canadian Club Whiskey. Meet your new cold one. We serve Canadian Club and Ginger ready-to-drink cocktails at all of our live shows. Visit CanadianClub.com today.
This is going to be a great night. So the band is Hyenas, and that's their new song. It's new to the podcast as well. A cool track for them called Wanna Get Along. And I'd be willing to bet, maybe not my kids, but something, that you'll see that one if you're coming to our next live show. It happens to be the Human Nature album release party. They asked if we wanted to be involved, and hell yes, absolutely. So it's at the end of next month on Friday, May 29 at the Blue Light Studio in beautiful East Vancouver. The Toddcast podcast, Blue Light Sessions, Volume 50. It's a big one. Hyenas and Dollhead. We're going to play something from Dollhead coming up in just a little bit. It is $25 in advance through eventbrite.ca, eventbrite. Doors are at 7 o'clock, and for this show, we're going to start things up a little bit earlier than normal. Normally we do like 8:15 for the first band, but we're going to start things up at 7:30. That way we'll have we have a couple things. I don't want to give it away yet, but we have a couple things up the sleeve that we need a little bit of extra time. So hopefully you've got a ticket for this. Absolutely stoked for this night. Played you Quickness, and this was one of the best indie songs of 2025. Great song for those guys called Sleepless Nights. They're fairly busy in terms of playing locally here in Vancouver, so follow along on social media. Jacob, their singer, he's pretty good at kind of keeping up and just letting you know about their live shows, new releases, songs that they're jamming and that sort of thing. Good band. Again, Quickness. All right, so coming up shortly, and stop me if you've heard this before, actress Brooke Butler talks about starring in the movie Sunfish and the Other Stories on Green Lake and how it showed at Sundance Film Festival, what that means to her personally. As always, Stop Me is powered by the Home Dwell Group, literally lifelong friends. If you're getting into the market, whether it's buying or selling your house, my best friend, Kyle, truly, he's a blood brother at this point, friends since elementary school. Well, Kyle's been in that world since graduating high school, designing homes and buildings here in Vancouver, transitioning into buying and selling homes. He'll be able to tell you if a place, first off, is worth buying, if it's worth fixing up, what needs fixing up. So if you're buying or selling, contact Kyle through homedwell.ca, homedwell.ca. First, let's get you back to more guest highlights in this binge watching podcast and some sporting guest visits. You know how slippery the slope truly is, right? One episode turns into 4 hours. Just slip by. Sleep? Nah. Who needs sleep? Snacks disappear. Some say that binge watching is a trap. Time evaporates. Your brain starts craving the next hit like you're an addict. Entertainment? Sure. But at what cost? That's just one way of looking at binge watching. You'll know Elizabeth Irving as the Vancouver Canucks anthem singer. Of course, that's only one note of her story. She writes, performs, and plays her own music at local shows, connecting with fans on and off the ice. She's a great follow on social media. It'll let you into her life kind of thing, like the behind the scenes, I guess you could say. Every anthem, every gig, every song carries the same energy and passion and presence. Listen to what Elizabeth was binging when she was a guest.
I've watched Grey's Anatomy probably 3 times, and for Grey's Anatomy fans, you know that that's a lot of Grey's Anatomy. I think they have 18 seasons now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so lots of Grey's Anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
I also love the kind of murder crime documentaries that you can watch. So I just watched one about Gabby Petito.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix. It sounds weird when I say I love those kinds of shows. I don't love what happened, but how they...
But it's so, like, how can you not get pulled into those styles of shows, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad you understand, because some people are like, ooh.
Oh, no, believe me, I'm the same.
Okay, good.
Like that Jeffrey Dahmer one they did on Netflix a year back or whatever, like it was so just engrossing, engaging. I couldn't stop watching, just so sick.
I think because it just feels, it teeters on the line of this is so outlandish, but this is reality. And it's just that kind of unnerving feeling of the two. And you're kind of like, whoa, this could happen to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the true story is like, holy. And like the only way that one person got busted was because of his footprint in the dirt. Like what?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, it's crazy. Well, even the Gabby Petito one I just watched, how social media basically was one of the main contributing factors of how they figured this murder out.
Right.
Which was really cool. People were like, he was in the back of my video, or he was this or that. And I was like, they would have never, ever found her.
70s, 80s, like, no chance.
Exactly. But kind of crazy. So yeah, those kinds of things. The Bachelor.
Oh, do you really? Okay.
Yeah, I watched The Bachelor. Lots of hockey. Actually, a really good series that's hockey related was, I think it was called Face Off. It covered all the teams that were going to playoffs.
So good.
That was a really good one. I enjoyed that one. I felt like it went past these are amazing athletes and they need to be so good, and actually kind of went past that wall and showed that they're human and that they have lives and families. And I really liked that. I loved it.
No kidding, right? She goes, it sounds weird when I say that I love those kinds of shows. I don't love what happened. It's so true. If you're into those kinds of shows, true life, death, murder, mayhem, Jeffrey Dahmer, the Menendez brothers, it's crazy to think that those kinds of people live among us. So from the Canucks' anthem singer to an MMA fighter you've seen fight in the UFC, other top promotions as well, Randa Markos' in-cage presence is calming, yet there's an unrelenting fire. Her fights tell a story of grit, resilience, determination honed through years of sacrifice. And yeah, Randa had some thoughts on binge watching.
I love horror stuff. I've been watching, we got the Android box, and I've been watching Paranormal Witness and Paranormal Survivor.
Yeah.
It's like the scary, it's like basically reenactments of people's encounters with like ghosts and stuff. It really scares the shit out of me.
Wow.
But I don't know, I get like a thrill out of it. Love that stuff.
Right, she goes, it's basically reenactments with people's encounters with like ghosts and stuff. Really scared the shit out of me. There was a time, that I would dive into that world, the paranormal, ghosts and ghouls, and I wanted to believe. I've even actually had some moments in my life that made me believe, but for some reason over the years, it's not something I'll specifically deep dive anymore, although I do still find it super engaging and intriguing. And I want to take you from an MMA fighter to a former Whitecaps FC goalkeeper who now guards the net for LAFC, Thomas Hasal. This kid has nerves of steel. Every save tests the reflex, his focus, his composure under pressure. So which shows was he binge watching in his downtime when he was a guest?
Jeez. Okay. I'm a big Suits guy. I like Suits.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah, so good. And like I've seen it a few times. I kind of just throw it on, and I can do other stuff on it because I'm not like I've seen it, so I'm not missing it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like it never gets old for me.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca.
Grew up in a small town where the folks find out everything they don't need to know. Made a humble living serving up fried chicken for the truckers out on the road. Ain't much in the bank, but enough to know. If I let my roots grow too deep, I can't just get up and go. Ain't no room for me if I spread my wings.
me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
You'll know actress Brooke Butler from a bunch of TV shows and films, including Ozark, The Resident, Animal Kingdom, Creep Show, Magnum P.I. She was in the horror film All Cheerleaders Die. She's even landed in Maxim's Hot 10 Actresses list, and kind of recently appeared in A Day to Die alongside Bruce Willis, Frank Grillo, and Kevin Dillon. She also hit the Sundance Film Festival as part of the cast of Sunfish and the Other Stories on Green Lake, one of the films selected for competition, and more on that in just a sec. Brooke grew up just outside of Seattle, loved performing early on, acting and singing, but she was also a serious athlete and nearly pursued soccer professionally. She booked a role in Les Mis at 12, performed at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe at 16, and from there it was kind of game on. When Brooke joined the show, we talked about rejection in acting. It's something that you just need to embrace. Seeing Kenny Loggins and Annie Lennox live, going to the University of Southern California, having tickets to the Oasis reunion. I think she was just rubbing it in at that point. We talked about binge watching shows, got into family, her love of Kevin Costner. She shared a near-death driving story, plus what's next, including Hell Hath No Fury and Valley Fever. And stop me if you've heard this before, Brooke talked about her movie Sunfish, showing at the Sundance Film Festival, and what that means to her personally.
One of my number one dreams, of course, most people hear about, Oscars and all these huge things, but to get into something like Sundance, Robert Redford's who founded it and started it because he wanted new emerging filmmakers to be able to show what they're capable of outside of the big studios where they have millions and millions of dollar budgets. Mm-hmm. And so to be one of 10 films selected for the competition dramatics section, you're kind of like, what? And all the other films, I've been starting to slowly stream them. They're all beautiful. They're all incredible. It's just people that truly want to tell a story and love their art versus, flying around in capes.
Yeah, and fair enough.
Which is fun too. I'd love to do that. But
those are fun though, right? Like you like Marvel and DC movies.
I love movies in general. There's hardly a movie you're going to bring across me that I'm not going to find something to love. So
yeah, fair enough. And have you been personally to Sundance, checked it out, and got the vibe of the event?
This was my first time. First time everything. It was, I will say I was nervous before because I didn't know what I was walking into, which is, human nature. If you don't know what you're walking into, of course, you're a little anxious. And then I got there and I was like, oh, wow, these are my people. We're all so nerdy and we all like the same things and just want to create weird projects and ideas. So it was fun.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by the HomeDwell Group. Buying a house? Selling your home? Contact Kyle at homedwell.ca today.
Quite literally, every show that we put on at the Blue Light Studio is fantastic. And I'm not just saying it because it's our shows, but they're so much fun. The band is called Dollhead, and that's a new song for the podcast called End of Summer. And you're, a month and a day away from seeing them open up our next live show. Again, Blue Light Studio, East Vancouver, on Friday, May 29. It's the Toddcast Podcast Blue Light Sessions, Volume 50. It's a big one for us. 50 shows ain't nothing to sneeze at. There are still some tickets available for Hyena's Human Nature album release party. $25 in advance for the pre-sale. $27 if you want to gamble and wait for the door, because you never know, we only let 60 people in. Always super fun nights, and cannot wait to see you there. You heard Jack Matthew, and that was her song called Wild Things, and excited to have Jack play a podcast show coming up in June. It's the last Friday of the month, June 26. She's opening up the night for Canyon Riders, who come highly recommended. So get ready to kick up some dust, doing a little country flavor in June. It's truly always a good time at country shows, right? Good party music, good drinking music. So grab a ticket, because I got the feeling that one's going to sell out. Okay, so let's get to our final guests of this episode 389. This week's entertainment guests, we're talking binge watching habits. Now, do we binge because life gets messy? Work, stress, noise, it just doesn't stop. You get a few episodes in, there's escapism for sure. You don't think about all the shit that kind of gets in the way and you got to worry about, but eventually you've got to come up for air sometime and remember that there is a world outside of the screen, right? Well, adult actress Kitty Quinn was a guest during the pandemic. At the time, she was modeling, and since she's made her jump into XXX and thrives online, cosplay, a presence on social media. She's fearless. She's not afraid to take risks, whether that's performing or connecting with fans or pushing boundaries. Listen to what Kitty was watching at the time she was a guest.
Okay, so one of the main things I'm binge watching, which is really random, people would not expect this, is a show called Grace and Frankie. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Don't know it.
It's pretty much an old people show, but it has Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, which I don't really know much, but I know a lot of people don't like Jane Fonda because it's some political stuff, but...
Oh, really? Yeah, fuck, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, apparently she did some political stuff back in the day. I don't know.
I know Jane Fonda was hot when she was younger, but beyond that...
Barbarella.
Yeah.
Barbarella.
Yeah.
I love her for Barbarella.
Movies. Yes.
That's why I love her.
Yeah.
I want to do Barbarella cosplay one day. Yeah. But it's basically a show about, and if you've ever seen 9 to 5, where they did that movie with Dolly Parton.
Yep.
Yeah. So Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, basically in the show, their husbands have been in a law firm together for like 20 something years. And the show starts off with the two husbands telling them, their wives, that they're leaving them to be gay with each other. So the show is basically about Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin just starting their new lives after their gay husbands left them, and they become roommates and live together. So it's kind of like an old lady show, I tell people, but they make tons of sex jokes. Lily Tomlin's basically like this big stoner pothead old lady in it. So I love her personality in it. I'm like, that's going to be me when I'm older.
I wrote it down. I never did get into it. She says the show starts off with the two husbands telling them, their wives, that they're leaving them to be gay with each other. Kitty Quinn talking about Grace and Frankie and binging through that. And from a XXX star to an actress who's carved her path from modeling to screens big and small, you've seen her in New Girl, Chicago Fire, NCIS, Los Angeles. When Sasha Neboga was a guest, she was promoting the movie Knox Goes Away, which she starred in alongside Michael Keaton and Al Pacino. And of course, Sasha had some thoughts on binge watching.
Just finished 3 Body Problems.
Okay.
Did you watch it?
No, I heard
it's not. It's great. It's great.
I'm into The Fallout.
I just had a friend of mine talk about it yesterday.
So
okay.
good.
How are you liking it?
It's so good.
I've heard great reviews about that.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the video game that HBO just released this past year with the fungus? You don't know? Hold on. I'm Googling it right now, because this was a great video game. So I wanted to hear what you thought. Here we go. The Last of Us. It's my decompression. No matter how busy the day gets, like I still have to. I go to bed. I put on the show. That's how easy And I'm always watching something. I just love creatives. I love creatives. I'm currently finishing up The Gentleman on Netflix, and then I think the next up I'm gonna do is Ripley.
Yes, 100. She says it's my decompression. You know, no matter how busy the day gets, like I still have to get into bed, put on the show, right? Well said. I think most people can understand and empathize with that. And finally, I want to take you from an actress to an actor you'll best know from roles like J.T. Forbes on Beauty and the Beast. He's been in Grey's Anatomy, Supernatural, NCIS, and a lot more. Listen to Brooklyn-based actor Austin Basis talk about the shows that he can't get enough of.
I mean, if you're not watching like Succession,
right,
then like as a TV enthusiast, you're completely missing out. Every episode's better than the next. We watch, I mean, we're starting another show that actually shoots in Toronto, What We Do in the Shadows.
Dude.
It's
So
like
good.
we're on our third go through right now, because we were like we were watching Seinfeld to go to sleep every night, and we're like, we've seen almost every episode multiple times, so we're like, let's go back to What We Do in the Shadows. And Barry is kind of, this season is crazy. So we watch those kind of like prime time. I like Only Murders in the Building. I got to work with Michael Cyril Creighton. He's on Only Murders in the Building, and so I was a fan of the show before, and he got to work with him this season on Maisel. Also in Succession, imagine someone, he's on Only Murders and Maisel, and then Peter Friedman, and one of the other actresses from Succession is also on Maisel.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those, like, you can't get much luckier than that. When I don't know, back in the day, Chris Maloney on SVU, Law and Order SVU.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing double duty on SVU, and what was it? He was like, what the Oz. It was Oz in New York. So it was like on an HBO show and an NBC show, and going back and forth. And it's like, wait, you're on both shows? Oh my God, if I could do that as an actor, be on such crazy shows. He's playing a cop and a prisoner, a cop in one and a prisoner in another. That, play both worlds. Like, that's just keep working. I love it,
Subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, and Spotify at Toddcast Podcast.
Life speeds so fast like we're running out of time. Ignite the gas like you're blowing up my mind. Too many thoughts are going through my head. Quick money, fast, all you're working till you're dead. Try to get ahead, but there's nothing you can do. Every responsibility's all on you. All my aggravation, they say it's just a phase. Hold your anger back just to make it through the maze. vent my hostile feelings on you. Blood boils over, there's nothing you can do. Frustrated feelings, 'cause every day I grind. Hold back my temper, 'cause now I'm going blind. Redline rage, I live in a cage. Active rage, redline rage, redline rage. I live in a cage. Active rage, redline rage, redline rage. Life speeds so fast like we're running out of time. Ignite the gas like you're blowing up my mind. Too many thoughts are going through my head. Quick money, fast, all you're working till you're dead. Dead.
You're hearing it going, why do I recognize the voice? They are Salvador Dream and a new song for them called Redline Rage. And who would have called new Salvador Dream in 2026? Do you remember those guys? Early 90s? They were making some substantially big waves, and then grunge came along and derailed the band like a lot of bands at that time. But they're staging a comeback, new Salvador Dream, and I'm told that they'll have a few new songs to share with us over the next handful of months, which begs the question, perhaps live shows are not too far away. That would be cool to see. Maybe I'll try and shake them down for a Toddcast show. As we put this one to bed, binge watching, it used to feel like a guilty pleasure, but now it's more of the default setting, isn't it? You get lost in worlds. That's the beauty. The characters, the stories, there's no interruptions. That's the upside, right? Immersion, momentum, emotional payoff. But there's got to be a cost. Your sleep takes a hit. Attention spans shrink. The line between relaxing and escaping kind of gets blurred. Great shows deserve some time to breathe, not to just be consumed. So maybe that's the move. Just balance, right? Hit play, enjoy the ride. Big thanks to all of our guests this week. Some are literally going back multiple years to when they were guests. And of course, we sure do appreciate them taking time to jump on and be on the Toddcast. Once again, my name is Todd Hancock. thank you so much for being there. Tell your friends about us, okay? We're part of the Realm.fm network. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Of course, see all of our videos on YouTube. Comment and rate the podcast when you get there. Of course, it helps out in search results. Search us out through what else? Toddcast Podcast. Huge thanks to all of our stellar sponsors. They are the engine to this podcast. Without them, it just straight up wouldn't happen. So if one of our sponsors makes sense to what's going on in your world and your life, support them because it directly supports us, the Toddcast. Find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you would like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. There's contact info at the homepage. Shoot me a note. We'll have a beer, have a coffee, see what's up. And as always, if you help us find a sponsor, we will give you a commission. I have somebody ask me, like, do you really do that? I'm like, yeah, of course. I can't remember, though. Is Joe Rogan doing something like that with his listeners, his subscribers? I can't remember. Till next time, don't be an asshole because nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast Podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.